Hello, my crazy tuners, and welcome to Grantham Garage. Today I'm going to be doing an LED modification on a Razor E300 series scooter. So first we're going to start with taking off the engine cover / deck. And in disassembly, just remember, the scooter has a mullet. Short screw in the front, like this one. And then long screws in the back, like these two. And then do not forget the medium length on the 8mm bolt on the bottom. That one is also very important too. So once you've taken those off, you can finally remove your cover. And under here we got a lot of things. The one thing that you should note most is this area back here. This has nothing to do with the mod, but just clean it while you got the chance, because this gets really dirty if you drive off-road or on unmaintained dirt alleyways and things like that. So after you've cleaned that, now this is where the mod starts. Here we got the battery pack. And there's a metal bar going across here. So you got to take off this metal bar. And that starts by sliding it off. Keep this. This will keep your bar from scratching up your batteries. Once you've done that, you got to figure out a way to manhandle your batteries out of the case. Once you've gotten that done, you have a much larger area to work with. And this is where you're going to run the wire for your LEDs, which is this, through a little hole down here. See if I can get this big bulky iPad to show you where this hole is. See that hole right there? That's where the motor wires go out to the motor, and that's where we are going to run the wires that will go to our Underglow. I'm using a Kohler engine as my iPad mount here. It's doing a pretty good job, actually. Before we run our wires, we have to build our mechanism. Now this is a really oddly soldered thing I have here. Now, I'm just going to warn you, if you have one that does not have batteries, you're going to have to do some soldering. If you do not know how to do some soldering, you can either borrow an iron from a neighbor, or you can buy one. They're pretty cheap. They're about $25 each, plus maybe $7 for some solder. But if you do have a soldering iron, then make sure you buy one that plugs into a car's cigarette lighter. I made the mistake of trying to do it previously on one that plugs into a wall. Don't do that. They're not designed for a 9-volt battery. The type of voltage and all that is really different from one that plugs into a wall. But this is made for 12 volts, which is pretty close to the 9 volts you're going to be jamming into it. And make sure to solder the positive end to here, and then the negative to one of these side ones, as you can see here. And also, if yours has a little LED that shows that it's on, just make sure you put a little solder bridge to cut out the LED. Otherwise, it's going to have a constant drain on your battery, and that is not good. And once you've gotten this put into this little space above your on and off switch, hook up the wire, and make sure that your LEDs can disconnect like this. Because it's very important. Because you're going to take this and try to fit it through that little hole where the motor wires run. Make sure before you put LEDs on, you clean this, because if there's dirt on it, then the adhesive won't hold. But once you have cleaned it, now is when you start doing things. You need to begin looping this through the holes. You see here, and slide it through, pull it through a bit. Make sure to leave some that will come back. Make sure to wrap it around here on the bottom. Once you've gotten back here, you bring it up a little. On this end, we'll plug in your LED controller. I'm just going to grab the remote and turn it off for now. There it goes. So we don't have a whole bunch of lights flashing. I'm going to feed this. Oh, what fell out? Or just the battery bar. feed this back into here a little bit so you can get a little bit more room to work with. Once you've got your measurements pretty figured out for your LEDs, then you can start pulling off the adhesive and adhering it, which I haven't gotten it fully figured out yet, so I'm going to take a few more seconds to do so. Leave the controller hanging out like this because it's when inside of your case and you try to use the remote, it's not going to work. So even though this might be a bit vulnerable to a speed bump or a dirt jump, it's the only option if you want the remote to work and not just a hard on and off switch they've put in here. But if you want to do that, that's great, because that seems like a better idea than what this is. But since I want to change the colors from time to time and mix things up a little, I'm just going to leave the controller sticking out. And I guess it's now time to remove the tape and start putting stuff on. Alright. These are bought at Five Below, so I'm sure that the adhesive is going to come off a little bit on the tape. No. Just going to make sure it goes through the bar there. Okay. You just got to find the place where you want it to attach. Hello, I am back, and I am here with a few extra notes. First one being, don't bend this too far, otherwise it'll break. That's what happened to me, and I had to go buy another light strip. And then second of all, if it gets to be too long, just bend it back here like I did so it seals to itself and keeps a nice grip on your scooter. In conclusion, LEDs are probably the best modification you can do to any electric scooter. If done properly, this mod should cost around $12. $6 for the lights from Five Below, and $6 for the phone charger from CVS. Please tell me in the comments if there's anything I can do better or what I should do next time. Thanks, and I'll see you later.